Welcome to Take 5 of the Top 50, the video interview series with Atlantic Business Magazine's Top 50 CEOs. Each episode will ask 5 questions to find out what makes these award-winning leaders tick. I'm Peter Morin, a principal and national cybersecurity leader with presenting sponsor Grant Thornton. In this episode, I'm talking to Gilles Volpe, VP and General Manager of Liberty in New Brunswick. He has successfully led this natural gas distribution utility through its strongest growth year in 7 years, as well as reducing the total cost of natural gas for its customers by a remarkable 35% since 2014. Thanks for joining me, Gilles. Let's get started. Who is the most inspiring leader you've worked with, and what did you learn from that person?
Well, I've been very fortunate in my career. When I first graduated from UNB, my first job I was with NBTel. I got recruited from UNB to go work for NBTel, and NBTel was the name of the telephone company in New Brunswick at the time. And I was very, very fortunate to meet Jerry Pond, who was one of the VPs at NBTel and eventually became president. But Jerry was a very inspiring and is still a very inspiring leader. He showed a lot of confidence in a young, wet behind the ears university graduate, and a lot of people feel that Jerry helped them out. There's a strong contingent of business leaders in New Brunswick that can, and Atlantic Canada, that can say that Jerry had a very large influence on their career. And for me, he taught me 3 very important lessons. And one is that everything revolves around the customer, and it's all about the customer. And if you lose sight of that, you've lost your way. And he was always, and he is still like that. It's always customer focused, and it drives your whole strategy and your whole reason for being in business. The second thing that he taught me is that we have to be creative in how we look at opportunities and challenges and situations. He always promoted that we need to look at challenges in an innovative way, and always try to think outside the box, and don't be scared to look at different ways of addressing a problem or addressing an opportunity, even more importantly. So that was the second lesson. The third lesson is that I always felt that when he interacted with me, that he always made me feel like I had something to contribute and something important to say. Even though I may not have been contributing much of the conversation, I always felt like he thought I did, which was even more important than the actual words I was saying. Is the feeling that he left me with whenever I was able and fortunate enough to interact with them. So I learned that lesson, that you should leave your interactions with people and try to leave them feeling that they have something important to contribute. And I still cherish that relationship today. And he's been a great leader that I've looked up to throughout my career.
Great information, Gilles. It actually leads me to the next question. A great segue. As an Atlantic Canadian corporate leader, what motivates you?
Well, it's very simple in my mind. I'm trying to improve the situation in Atlantic Canada. We have a wonderful place to live and raise a family, and we want to continue to make it an attractive and comfortable and successful place to be able to do that. And so if we can improve our economic situation, continue to do that, be leaders in certain areas, and provide opportunities for Atlantic Canadians to have successful careers and employment in Atlantic Canada, and continue to have growth in our population, and growth in opportunities for investment, then we'll all be better off, and Atlantic Canada will be a better place to live, and we'll be able to attract more of our children and family to stay in Atlantic Canada and grow up and raise their families in Atlantic Canada. So, Atlantic Canadians have been known for a long time to be workers who go work elsewhere, and but I think we have an opportunity now to reverse that, and some of it is occurring already, and it's because we're, I think, creating opportunities, economic opportunities for people to live here and raise their family and continue to do that. So that's what I've been trying to do through operating the businesses I've been doing, but and then the companies I've been managing is to try to create a better economic situation for all of us.
Great. Kind of switching gears to the energy market. You have a front row seat to the energy discussion here in Atlantic Canada. What do you think is our biggest opportunity and our biggest threat in terms of energy security and net zero goals?
Yeah, we have. That's a great question. We have a very good opportunity here in Atlantic Canada to approach the energy challenges and the net zero climate challenge opportunity through an integrated approach. And by that I mean that it's not just electrification that's going to solve the climate change problem and help us get to net zero. It has to be an integrated approach. So I manage a gas distribution company, and natural gas and other forms of gas will be part of the energy mix for many decades, even past 2050. Electrification can't solve all the problems, and it's going to be very expensive to do, and it's going to be difficult, and it doesn't solve problems for energy solutions for industrial and a lot large commercial customers as well. So we have to find a way to find an integrated solution through all different forms of energy that we have. So we have, through solar and wind and hydro. We're fortunate that we have access to all those types of energy sources in Atlantic Canada. We also have nuclear, and we have a wonderful gaseous distribution system in New Brunswick and in in Nova Scotia. So the gas distribution systems that we have developed can be a part of the integrated solution for climate change. And we have the newest gas distribution systems in North America here in Atlantic Canada, in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, and that they are ready to accept all types of different gas solutions. So it's not just natural gas. There's a move away from natural gas to more renewable types of gases through renewable natural gas from landfills, for example. And there's also opportunities to use hydrogen and blend that into the gas system and go towards a renewable hydrogen solution for the gas system. So over the next decade, all those investments will create opportunities for Atlantic Canadians to be leaders in the world because of our ability to integrate all the different energy solutions that we have, and that creates a fantastic opportunity. And the reverse of that is, the threat is, if we approach this on a silo basis, just electricity or just nuclear or just gaseous energy distribution, we're going to fall behind the rest of the world. So we could be leaders if we want to. We have all the tools and all the infrastructure here to do it.
Definitely a very interesting view on net zero goals, Gilles. Thank you. Looking specifically at Liberty, you've reduced the cost of natural gas for your customers by 35%. While I'm sure customers appreciate it, isn't that counterproductive in terms of your responsibility to your shareholders?
That's a good question. And operating a public utility, which is a regulated company, is counterintuitive to start with. I know when I joined the utility industry about a dozen years ago, it challenged every notion of operating a business that I had developed through, my education and through the 20 years I'd spent in the telecom IT industry. So it is a bit counterintuitive, but the shareholders invest in utilities because they are stable investment, because of the regulatory framework that's in place. It provides more predictable returns than traditional business. And yes, perhaps the returns aren't as high as a non-regulated business, but you do get that stability. So typically investors invest in utilities because of that stability. So we've been able to provide the same level of returns to our shareholders and meet the targets that we have set to our shareholders, and still be able to reduce the costs for our customers. So everybody's been winning, I guess, in this environment. The shareholders are achieving their predicted returns, and the ratepayers and our customers are having lower energy costs that we've been able to pass on to them. So it's an interesting approach to things. I agree, but we've been able to achieve that, and the shareholders are getting what they bought into us for, which is stable returns, fairly predictable year after year.
That's definitely a great view on that balance between the two. If you could change one national public policy related to interprovincial energy trade and investment, what would you change and why?
I guess that's part of the challenge that we have, is we don't have a national view of energy policy in Canada. We have provinces that have resources that they are trying to develop, and they have resources, whether that be oil and gas or hydro, like in Quebec, or the different opportunities across the country, and we are operating in a silo environment, and instead of trying to leverage each other's resources and be able to have an integrated approach to the national energy challenges, we're kind of being a little too, we're creating too many borders between the provinces. So if we'd be able to better share the resources between the provinces and have an easier flow of energy going from east to west or west to east. Most of our energy flow these days occurs between north and south, and we need to be able to put the willingness and the infrastructure in place to have the energy flow between the provinces, which means we need to go from east to west and west to east, and make that easier to do. So yeah, there's some national federal government policies that need to be implemented, but more importantly, I think there's a cooperation between the provinces that need to occur in order to allow those investments to take place, so we can have better trade between east and west to east between the provinces. Again, it's about not having a siloed approach to the problem. It's about having an integrated approach, and we need to spend a little bit more time trying to figure that out.
Very interesting. Thank you, Gilles.